Good morning and welcome back to the West Ham Network. I am bringing you a transfer show this morning and I hope you are well. I'm talking about Lucas Digne from Everton and the transfer stories are starting to heat up. It's starting to become that roller coaster again. Every single player you can see is linked with West Ham, and they are apparently coming in the door. But we're going to talk about specific players and what they potentially could offer to us moving forward. Let me jump into the chat and see who is kicking about. It's going to be a short and sweet show this morning because I am back to work, so I've managed to see a little gap and bring my lunch hour forward or half an hour forward, so I'll do a show and get this in. But anyway, Marcus Lee, we were talking on Transfer Talk this morning. Aston Villa are looking for a new left back. Could that mean that Matt Targett is out of favour? Would be a good asset as backup and competition for Creswell. It's a good point. We were linked to him before as well. Gaza, you're in the house, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're well, Father Snowman. Good morning, everyone. On a sunny day, I wish it was sunny. It's absolutely the opposite where I am right now, but it's cold. Mick Anderton, morning all. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Gaza, they were fresh and they played second string and they were better. The team created most chances. That's in reference to Spurs versus Chelsea last night. Alex Chapman talks and come. Very reliable source and modern there. Said Lingard is in the talks of the training ground and is going to join sooner rather than later. Let's hope so, because I would be absolutely buzzing about that. And we will, of course, be talking more about particular players as the season goes on, or as the transfer window does go on. Good morning, West Ham Network. Ross Cordell, hope you're well. Ross, I've not seen you in the chat for such a long time. Father Snowman, Lingard comes, we get top four. Absolutely. You have to declare your sources to the site owner. There's two on there that are very reliable, Chalks and Jinx. Chalks has a long history of being spot on. Alex, I remember I used to be on there actually quite a lot, and I remember some of the stuff that used to go on in there as well. Has to be Stell, he's late or early. Sorry, mate. It's me. No, come on, Ross. What's wrong with me? I'm only messing. Good morning. Good morning. Henry, good morning to you as well. Loads of people in the chat. It's lovely to see this time in the morning. I hope you enjoy this. It's a bit of a random time, but don't worry, we'll have loads of shows coming up moving forward. Morning, Hammers fans. Hope you're well. Manolis, good morning from the sunny Greece. Oh, man, don't rub it in. It's non-stop pouring here. Henry, Gaza, Chalks is extremely reliable. Oz breaking West Ham still haven't landed Jesse Lingard. I'm going to talk about that in a second. His record is impeccable. Alex, just out of interest, how long have you been on Come? Because I remember maybe 6 or 7 years ago being on it, and I remember there was the odd story that was coming true, and then but then again, that is the world of transfers, isn't it? You know, when you hear from a source that something's going to happen, things can fall through at the last minute. So maybe I just need to give them benefit of the doubt. Good day, Kieran. Hope you're well. Ross Cordell, been a while. Anton, hope you're well, mate. Yeah, sorry, I had a bad breakup. Oh God, sorry. Hope you're okay, mate. Please stay safe. Happy Amaret, good to see you. Simon Rogers, hello family. Good vibes. I think, did I miss someone there? Kimball, you're in the house. Good to see you too. Narky, morning all. Let's get Jesse in, and I'm all for that as well. So let me get started on today's show. So according to reports, West Ham are interested in a deal to bring in Lucas Digne to the London Stadium in the January transfer window. Now, let me put a picture up of him so you know exactly who I am talking about. And now it seems that Newcastle have offered Everton 22.5 million plus Sean Longstaff for the player. Now, apparently, Benitez, who has worked with Longstaff in the past, is keen on bringing Longstaff to Everton. Now, I know a lot of Everton fans are not interested in that deal, but they're willing to offer Longstaff plus £22.5 million. But according to reports, Everton are looking for about £30 million for Digne, and they're not interested in a loan deal, which has been touted around clubs like Napoli. However, the big however here is well-respected Italian journalist Fabrizio Romano has again stated, and he's really rammed this home, that Lucas Digne does not want to sign for Newcastle, even though they are willing to make him one of their biggest earners. So that's what makes this one really interesting. You've got a player here that's linked with a club who've got money, who are willing to make him one of their highest earners at the club, and he does not want to move there. Now, that's not coming from him directly. That's coming from the source of Fabrizio Romano. However, Fabrizio Romano 9 times out of 10 can be right from his sources. So you've got to take that potentially, as it comes, as maybe what it wants to happen. But with the recent injury to Aaron Creswell and the lack of cover at left back, we all know it's an area we need to strengthen in, even when and hopefully when Creswell returns. But just considering just how impressive Digne has been for Everton in recent seasons, the news that West Ham will be considering the possibility of making a move for the French international is an exciting prospect. A good left back isn't easy to come by in the modern day game. So last season he had 30 Premier League's appearances, and they're saying his form for Everton was remarkable. He helped his side keep 9 clean sheets. He registered 7 assists and created a whopping 11 big chances for his teammates, as well as making an average of 1.5 key passes per game. The 28-year-old also impressed in other stats, more typical of his position, making an average 1 interception, 2 tackles, 2.5 clearances, and winning 6.5 duels per fixture. Most games per 90. Now, with these stats, why has Digne become available? Well, apparently, according to sources within Everton, etc., Benitez' his relationship seems to have absolutely broken down, and it's been reported that Everton manager would be willing to part with the left back this current window, as long as an offer around 25 to 30 million pounds is lodged. Benitez's style of play just simply did not suit Digne, and he had pretty much already signed the replacement for him already in Michaelenko. And with the World Cup just around the corner, the already 43-time cap player will be looking for as much game time as possible. And I think the former Barcelona defender would make an excellent addition to West Ham squad, and challenge Aaron Creswell on the left of Moyes' backline. But you've also got the ability to play, if Creswell does come back and he is fit, Digne and Creswell if you have to drop to a back 5 as well. But let's look a little bit deeper into his skill set and his history and where he's been. So let's go back where he started his career from. He started his career back at Lille, making over 50 appearances, scoring 2 goals and 1 assist for them before joining Paris Saint-Germain in 2013. Let me see where I am here. I'm just trying to find out. He joined them for around £13 million. And in 3 seasons at PSG, he made around 30 appearances. He never scored any goals, but he did register 3 assists for the club. He did, however, win 6 trophies. However, like I said, he was their backup left back. So in 2015, he wanted to go in search of first-team football. He spent a season on loan at Roma, playing 33 games for Roma in his time there. He scored 3 goals and registered 3 assists at his time there. And he did want to make the move permanent. However, a big club in Spain, Barcelona, took a key interest in the fullback, and he signed a 5-year deal, signing for approximately £14 million for Barcelona. He only got 1 goal in his time there, and he got 2 assists at the Nou Camp. But despite not playing regularly between PSG and Barcelona, he has won 12 honours between the clubs combined. So he is their backup player, and he was, he's had Champions League experience, he's had European Cup experience, etc. But he's not had a consistent run in a team up until his, after his Barcelona career, because in 2018 August, for a fee in the region of £18 million, he started his career at Everton, and that's how we and most football fans know him. And in his Everton career, he scored 5 goals, but he has registered 19 assists in his time there. He also represents France, and he won the 2013 under-20 team World Cup with France. He made a senior international debut in March 2014, and he represented France at the 2014 World Cup, the UEFA Euro 2016, where they reached the final, and the Euros 2020, scoring no goals but registering 3 assists for his country. So what do we know about Digne? What could he potentially offer to a club like West Ham? He seems like your traditional fullback with a decent tackle success rate, and like most other fullbacks, he receives a progressive pass from a defensive line and carries the ball in a wider area, only to either connect it into the midfield later or cross from wide areas. Most fullbacks and even wing-backs work this way. Digne is a sort of traditional fullback whose threat relies on crossing and passing, like I said, from those kind of spaces. He also reminds me, though, of a no-nonsense fullback who likes to get stuck in. He never, ever shies away from a tackle that I've saw. And not, they're never really ill-timed tackles, but they're always well-timed tackles. And he is very quick on the counter. But another key factor is he's extremely comfortable on the ball with his both feet. He is predominantly left-footed, but he can play with both of his feet and can distribute the ball with both of his feet as well. And he's got a lot of pace and he's fast on his feet. He likes to get forward, but due to his speed and his capability to track back and support his teammates, he's up there. So he always tracks back, and it's a hard work, which is what potentially David Moyes is, of course, looking for. Digne is 3 years younger than Creswell and would join a growing French and French-speaking contingent at West Ham if he were to join. But he would also, like I said earlier on, give Moyes the option of playing a back five with Creswell as left centre-back that he has played before, and Digne at the left wing-back for some games where we sometimes see Masuaku perform. But the big problem West Ham face is stiff competition for the left back. Chelsea are on the hunt due to injuries, more notable with Chilwell, so they are on the hunt for a left back. Newcastle are looking to spend big, as I've mentioned, and add to the squad. And Spurs, of course, chase all West Ham targets. So whoever West Ham are linked to, Spurs will always have a keen interest in him. Now, for me, apparently Everton aren't keen on anything to do with a loan deal. They don't have no interest in doing a loan deal. They want hard, straight up cash. Now, West Ham have some budget, but I think that West Ham have got a priority as left back for the summer. I don't think we've got the priority as a left back for now. However, if a player comes up and we need to take the player sooner rather than later, then I can see why West Ham would try to make the move. Now, myself and Russ were having a chat this morning. We were saying, why would he choose West Ham over someone like of Chelsea? Well, for me, we don't know if Chelsea are 100% going to go in for a player like Digne, because we don't know Tuchel's system. He's got a lot of young players coming through the ranks, and will he want to spend any of the budget he's got? Yes, they have got money in that position, considering that Chilwell is injured. I'm just not so sure that Digne suits the Chelsea style, but I think he may suit the West Ham style a lot better. And also, it's about trying to weigh up. West Ham are probably potentially would be looking to, if you've got to bring someone like him in, you're probably going to have to be looking at about 100k a week, because I think he's on about 80 to 90k a week at Everton. So, what do you think? Get your comments in. I'll go through them as well. See what everyone is saying. I have to find out where it is. Alex Chapman, Gaza, Newcastle. No one wants to go there. I've been thinking about that this morning actually as well, because I was thinking, if Trippier does sign, he's the kind of first player under the new regime that signs for Newcastle, and there will be a snowball effect. But I don't think on this occasion that money talks under certain players like Digne, who's apparently stated he doesn't want to go there. And I'm hoping it's the same when it comes to Lingard as well. Kimbo, good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Simon Rogers, West Ham family, good vibes. Thank you very much. Simon Rogers, really lovely sunny day today. Love it. Really cold though. I wish it was the same. I can't wait for the blue skies and the cold to kick in. Obviously, I want the summer to come in as well. Sorry to hear that, Ross. Yep, I hope you are okay now. Same as well. Sign Digne and give them Arthur. Could you imagine though? Could you imagine that West Ham actually did make an offer for Digne? Because in Digne, he is a player that we are capable. We could bring in now and solve that problem that we've got, and have these two players challenging for that position in Creswell. But it's just whether or not the board see that as a priority now or see that as a priority in the summer. But I did say when a player comes up, then we'll see. Mark Alexander, morning all, good to see you. Romano did say Digne isn't interested in him at all. Chalks is a mod, Lingard is coming, fingers crossed. 30 million, Digne, no chance at that price. It's a lot of money, but this is what I did say earlier on. This is where I am at with it. West Ham don't see the left-back position as a priority in the January, but they may see it as a priority in the summer. So West Ham aren't in any rush to sign the player. Like, if Digne comes up, they're not going to pay £30 million for him, but they may be willing to sit tight on this. And if they lose him, they lose him. If they don't, they don't. But if Everton are going to try and outprice opposition teams to bring it in during the current climate we're in, then West Ham may sit tight and may offer him a cut price deal and maybe throw a player in there as well. Now, listen, we don't know what teams are trying to do and what they're trying to build. If we've got players that are surplus to requirements, let's think about Fredericks, let's think about Yarmolenko, let's think about Masuaku, just to name a small few. you could throw one or two players in there to build your squad. Everton have previously had a really strong interest in Yarmolenko. I'm not saying they have now, but they could, reignite that. We could start to tempt teams with options. And Everton do have a lot of injury problems up top. So maybe, the likes of Yarmolenko coming in to start fresh at a new career could be an option. I don't know. Thinking outside the box, why not? Narky, thank you very much for joining. If anyone is interested in becoming a new member, we have changed the membership program. We have brought it down to 2 membership programs and hopefully kind of more affordable, and we'll give you more bang for your buck as well. So go and check it out. Good signing, but can't see it happening. From Aaron, yep, we never know, of course. Raymond, Newcastle already bid. Forget it. It's not happening, no. Doesn't want to go there. If anything, Chelsea will be his destination, depending if they want him or not. That's the interesting thing. He's already said he doesn't want to go there. I'd love to see Digne at West Ham, but not at 30 million. Completely agree. He will probably, may do. He may do. He doesn't want Newcastle. He end up a squad player at Chelsea. We are the best bet, but 30 million is out of our range. And that's true, because I do think he potentially would be a squad player at Chelsea. And I don't think he wants to do that. I think he's ran his course as being a squad player. He's been used to having game time. And that's part of the reason why he wants to move and Benitez wants rid of him. The relationship is broken down because he's not playing games this season. Audi Elias TT, good morning, Anton and Hammers. Jelly Tots full of soft centres. Good to see you, mate. We will manage to afford his wages. I think we would be able to afford his wages. It's just about the fee, really, to be honest. How about Villa left back? He was earlier mentioned. Target could be on his way. Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Depends on what. I mean, there's more players. I mean, we could sit here and talk about Coutinho because apparently he's linked to 6 Premier League clubs. You've got loads and loads of players that are linked to the club just now. I mean, other news coming out today is that we aren't going to pursue Barbosa deal as well. So, it just shows you how things can just chop and change at the last minute. Yep, there's more than that now, though. There is more than that. McAnder, 30 million is worth it, but we won't pay anywhere near that. Lingard is in the talk and is the talk of the training ground and is going to join sooner or later. He also added, January, not end of season. It's happening, people. Let's hope it is, mate. Let's hope it is. He is better than Creswell. Well, Creswell on form and Digne on form, to be honest, they both got similar stats in terms of what they both can offer. So for me, yeah, but that's the sign of a good squad. You need 2 players for every position. Absolutely. Who will buy Yarmolenko? He will run himself down his contract. I'm just thinking outside the box. 30 million is going to rate for a Premier League proven player, plus the January premium, 100%. I'd be excited with the prospect of Digne. I've been. So the thing is, I'm excited by the prospect of Digne. I'm just not sure we can get the deal over the line because I don't think West Ham see it as a priority. I think the only reason we're taking a keen interest in it is because he's become available sooner rather than later. So West Ham are maybe dipping their toes into the water to see, can we tempt anything? But if other clubs are there, the likes of Chelsea, it's just whether or not what Digne sees. I mean, Digne could think, you've got to think like this as well. People will say, well, he was going to go to Chelsea. It's a no-brainer. Well, Chelsea are, currently 6 or 7 points behind Man City in the Premier League. So how are they performing in the Champions League? And they've got the League Cup and all that sort of stuff. So what's his best bet? He's got the World Cup coming up, and that's the key factor, I think, for Digne. He wants to play at the World Cup in Qatar next winter. So sign for Chelsea and don't get guaranteed football game time, or potentially sign for West Ham and get that, not guaranteed, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So we'll have to see. Offer 20 million plus Yarmolenko to Everton. We've seen crazier deals happen. Yankee, good to see you. Hope you're well. A very reliable source. You're all talking about that on Come. So if you want to go and check that out, you can. I'd be pleased for Digne and Lingard at the minimum for this window. I just going to have a little bit more faith and think we potentially could bring in 3. I think if we get 1 or 2 over the line quickly, we may see a couple follow suit, and I think that's what we obviously need as well. Happy. Let me see here. Bro, we need left back. Masuaku's liability. Creswell's injured. Europa League is there as well. Absolutely. God, these are all having a right good old chin wag, aren't you? Peach, hope you're well, mate. Good to see you. Bowen scores more and assists more than Grealish. Easily £90 million player. Love that enthusiasm. But he ain't going anywhere, mate. He ain't going anywhere. When you have the back in Newcastle have, you can sell your long-term plan and ambition easier than we probably can. Being basically owned by a Saudi government is a lot easier to convince players. That's true. But if you don't want to be or live somewhere, I don't know if money would talk. If you have got access to, what I'm trying to think of. I mean, if you really don't want to say stay in Newcastle or stay up north and potentially want to move down south, which is what we're starting to hear in relation to Lucas Digne, or move abroad, then are you saying you would go somewhere that you think you would hate for double the salary? Because I'll give you my example, and it's completely it's trying to be relatable. I don't earn the salary that what the footballers earn. However, I remember years ago taking a job because of money, and it was the worst decision I ever made. It was the worst decision I ever made. So I don't think it works so easily as that, to be honest, John. I really don't. I really, really, really don't. Find it wrong that teams can have games postponed for COVID and injuries, then sign a load of players to play in those rearranged fixtures. There should be some kind of ban on those playing things. I mean, I think Moyes has kind of hinted a lot at some of the teams' decisions to cancel games, and he's hoping that that might not be the case. I mean, I'm hearing through the grapevine that we have got some more positive cases at West Ham. So I don't know what that means for Leeds. Now, I know Leeds have got a lot of positive cases and a lot of injuries. So, I mean, I know it's late in the day, but it depends on if any West Ham pull in any more positive cases. But I think the FA Cup's very different. This is what I don't understand as well. The rules for cup competition seem to be very different to the league competition. So, we someone said, like, no one complains when a team fields 11 youth players in a cup competition, but complains when you field 11 players in the Premier League competition. Surely there should be some consistency there with everything as well. Offer Blackburn, Okaflex on loan, and Harrison Ashby on loan, get Diaz in return. Could you imagine? It's a good shout, though. It's a good shout, but apparently Blackburn I can't see Blackburn getting rid of Diaz no matter what the money just now, because the money that they make if they progress up and get into the league up is phenomenal. So I still think it would happen. John Kedward, potentially a good move, but will he fit in with the boys? Not worth 80 million as well. That's the other key thing, is if he's broken down a relationship with Benitez, but we have to trust in what Moyes is doing, and I think Moyes would trust the process of doing the personality test as well. Must get Digne in, good left back. Bring Phil Jones in on loan, played really well against Wolves, and try and bring Jovic in on loan from Real Madrid from Spencer. I don't agree with Phil Jones. I think when if he's fit, he can be a decent centre back. But my biggest issue is he's got really bad injury records, and I just think that rules him out of a move to West Ham. To be honest, I really do. Not for me, Anton from Kent. 30 million plus probable over 5 million a year, 55 to 60 million over contract. I'd rather go for Lee Buchanan or Lloyd Kelly for who can play left back and centre back. Yeah, good point, Kent. Absolutely. Alex is saying Grealish is a big fish, a small pond player, will be bombed out in a few years. Marcus is saying Digne would be a great signing, but the wages are a factor. 28, 29 years old. They're a better future signing in that position and younger. Digne would not be surplus. Creswell is injured, in my opinion, could be further a month or so. Get the lad in. He had been advised to join us this morning. I've seen the opposite. That Barbosa is not going to be coming to West Ham. Jason, morning everyone. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Oh my word, so many comments, but you're all talking to each other, which is lovely. So I'll try and see if I can get through. Digne would be a fantastic signing. It would, but the last question I'll ask everyone in the chat is, do you think we'll bring him in? So do you want West Ham to sign Digne? Yes or no? Realistically, do you think we'll sign him? Yes or no? And how much do you think we'll sign him for? Just put that in the chat and we'll go through that. That's the problem, Spencer. Nobody knows. Nobody knows, because he's broken a bone in his tailbone, and I don't think they have any kind of timing scale for his return. Freno, good morning. Good to see you. Trying to think about how Moyes works in previous signings. Lingard, Holosic, Kelly, Adarboyoa, Lewis, Potter. You never know, mate. You never know. Chelsea by Digne and we get Sar from Chelsea. All sorted. There you go. DJ Rossi Beast came in and given us the answer to it as well. There we go. If you're banking your survival on a 31-year-old right back, then your doom Trippier isn't what you need. He'll get roasted by most left-sided player. I kind of agree with you, but there's always going to be like Newcastle will have to get a signing over the door, someone over the door. And if the signing of Trippier means that a player he's connected to or someone sees that Trippier signs for him, brings another player in, that might work. Now, I'm not going to compare Trippier to Robinho when Man City signed Robinho, but look how Robinho really worked out for Man City. But it was just that glossy signing. I'm not saying Trippier is the glossy signing. I think he's a mid-range glossy signing at that age. He's going to, it's a no-brainer for him. 31-year-old right back's going to earn a lot of money. He's just won La Liga. I don't think I think it's a no-brainer for Trippier, but I think he could have a knock-on effect and bring some players in. It just depends on who it will be. Lingard wants to play in the World Cup, but he hasn't signed yet. Kieran, yeah, valid point, absolutely. Let's see where we are. Oh my God, love that. Are positive cases of bonus clubs taking advantage? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, people are saying that I don't know how easy it is to pull the wool over the eyes of the Premier League to say, can we cancel a game because we've got positive tests? What proof do you need? Do you need lateral flow? Because I've seen things going around online where people are drawing a red line through it. I'm not saying clubs are doing that. I'm not making the accusation, but you can if you really want to. Garino, if England is coming, I suspect the striker will be postponed till the summer. And would you be happy with that, Garino? Would you be happy with that? Phil Jones is not worth the tuppence. Barbosa, no thanks. I'm hoping it's rehashed story, and it's not true. It's been rehashed, I think, for about 5 transfer windows as well, hasn't it? After 50 million plus Yarmolenko plus Masuaku, if you're saying put those two players in that price range, then possibly, but I don't even know if that would make up to 50 million. Digne, yes, please. Jamie Harrow, what a joke last night. He always is, mate. He always is. I want Digne, but I don't think we'll get him. Would pay 20 mil. Yeah, but then what point do you stop? Would you pay 25? Would you pay 25? Offer a player as well? Digne, Lingard, and a striker would be a great transfer window. Trippier is one of the best fullbacks in the world. I'd like him to be a hammer. There's not many left backs out there that are actually available. In an ideal world, I would have loved him a couple of years younger, but hey ho. I mean, that's the thing though. Like, you know, if you bring someone like Digne in, you do get 3 to 4 years from him. And then you've got the young players in the background, like Digne, Longelo, who could start to work up the ranks and become the backup left back. And you know, it's you know, a 29-year-old player. It's you know, not the end of the world, or you know, I'm okay with it. 28, 29. Garino, Newcastle have too many issues in their squad to fully address this window. They need a couple of windows in the Premier League to sort out the problems throughout their team. Liverpool are close to signing Porto winger Luis Diaz for 60 million. Mike is saying Digne is not viable. Disabled team is saying Leeds have 8 first-team players out with injuries. Yeah, they do. They're riddled with injuries. And, of course, that's not including COVID as well. Alex, I can see Newcastle getting a fixture congestion. These postponed games need to be played. This isn't the advantage people think. They'll probably moan about that as well. It might not be, but bringing players in could help their situation. I don't know. I mean, who are we? It's a tough one, isn't it? If they want 30 million, offer 29 million in Yarman Masuaku. Everyone thought Dawson wasn't worth a tuppence. Look what happened there. It's true, mate. It is true. Mike Moyes will go for a centre back, then cover left back. Nothing will happen to the last day. Raymond, I'm really hoping that doesn't and isn't the case as well. Henry, I think if we spend more now, I don't mind not spending as much in the summer. Hard to say. But that's a really key question, Henry, because, or a key point you're making here, because for me, you have to, if we're going to have a chance of progressing on, I think we need to invest now. Now, I don't want us to go and sign people just for the sake of it. That's why I really think Lingard is key. But if we can bring in someone like Digne, then he could really resolve a problem and could help us right now in a position that if Creswell does come back, could play alongside Creswell, and that gives us a new outlet. That gives us a new formation. That gives us something to change up about rather than being the 4 at the back. And if we need to change from 4 at the back, we can play 5 at the back and have Digne just at the side of Creswell, and that's the kind of attractive option, isn't it? Let's just hope we're not disappointed with the club after the window shuts. Odd Audi, please, let's not. Let's not. He is England international, played for Atletico Madrid in the League, a Champions League, highest levels of the last 5 years of his life. It's a valid point. I've seen Sean Dyche has got COVID as well. I can't see that Liverpool have 13 players with COVID to warrant cancelling their cup game. But this is the thing, Happy. I don't understand the rules. It's tough because they're not consistent between cups and the league, and the league seems to be king. The league takes the priority. Anyway, Alex was saying Eddie Howe isn't a manager top players would play for. However, at one point he was linked to us, and at one point before Moyes came in, I would have actually probably quite liked him as our manager. But anyway, what do you think? Lucas Digne, yes or no? Is it realistic? Yes or no? And I would like West Ham to push the boat out to bring someone of his quality into the club, because I think he would really add to our squad, absolutely. But is it realistic when you've got clubs like Chelsea sniffing around who are desperately in need of a left back? let's see what happens later on. I think the plan is for the shows for the rest of the week. I think later on we've either got Stella Russ 1 o'clock. Keep an eye on the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button, because that will let you know when we do shows. If you hit the bell notification, that lets you know when the show's coming up about half an hour, 40 minutes in advance. So please do that as well. And yeah, Lucas Digne, is he coming? Is he not? I'm not sure. I want him. I'm interested in him. I'd like to see him come to the club, but I really am sure if he is going to come. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Get your comments in when the show's finished. Thank you for watching, and stay safe and look after yourself, and come on, you Irons. Last but not least, I did forget to say this. None other than George McCartney is on the channel tonight, 9 o'clock. Come over, join Russ with George McCartney. It's going to be a live Q&A, so you can get your questions in. If you are watching tonight, please put a Q at the start of your question, because DJ Russie B will try and get all the comments in and questions into George McCartney. So what an absolute coup for the West Ham network. Thanks for